got there! Hello! God, it was like well past dusty time, wasn't it? Gotta love all of that. It's a lot of fun. So,
and I'm sure us being like, "Come on, Rob, hurry up, we're late, Rob."
No,
we were very helpful.
They were not doing that, I promise. So, folks, look, Wise One Shelly is back from her fast riding.
She's here.
She's been fast riding.
Guys,
we missed your face.
Yeah, we've missed you. This is
I missed your faces.
Aww. Shelly has been fast riding many places, and she even stopped by the Dusty Wheel Inn last week before she came back to us to, teach that innkeeper some valuable information. So yeah, but
she was in full Wise One mode. It was amazing to see.
I love this. Plaid Shelly is best Shelly, says Bain Chiad, hanging out in chat there. Hello, it's good to see you still in chat there. Oh, there's so many people we've got to say hello to. Hello, everybody in chat, please. Wave if you're new. Now, there are a few new members, it appears. So let's... Shelly had a question about this. Folks, you can become a member. I'm trying to see if I can find one now. It doesn't highlight in this chat that I can access on here if you change, which is annoying. But folks, you can become a member. It just comes up like this. I don't know if it's going to be green. No. Fardaris, my grandma Beth has joined. Pavara has joined. Alt-Text Alex has joined. In essence, folks, what you get for this is you get to have a sexy new color in the YouTube comments, which is lovely. And you get access to the exclusive members, such as the Goat Kisser you've just seen popped in by Fardaris, my grandma. And you can put in G. I believe I put Toe in there as well. So, yeah. And as we get more, then I can add more emojis into it, and folks, if you want other benefits that I can probably deliver on YouTube, I'll see how that can be done, and I'll add them in. And if you just want a fancy color and be able to put in fancy emojis, there's an option on screen under the chat where you can do that. So yeah, to explain that, because obviously people had a question, and I see the Clark Kent discussion is still going on from the Lights Works Discord server. Text Alex, and this is right. Shelly is Clark Kent. That's a Lights Works discussion, folks. If you not sure what that is,
I don't know what this conversation is. I was not following this today.
But if I understand the science correctly, that means now I'm Superman. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, Mel, but I always think that Wise One Shelly is pretty super. So
she's not here anymore.
But this is true.
Sorry.
Yeah, Super Shelly. Plaid to the rescue.
I didn't know we had... Oh, hi, Shelly.
Yeah, I know. I would be terrible as Superman, because, I would immediately forget where my glasses are, and, I would not change out of my plates properly. And
you'd, put them on your head and be looking for them?
Yeah, I'd show up at the gym and just, forget that I could bench press the earth.
I'm curious, so if you bench press the earth, what are you pushing against?
It's just the way it is, Rob.
This is clearly a something that only wise ones really know.
Mm-hmm.
My mind is broke.
This is fair.
I mean,
Mel.
that's literally, I think, my favorite Chuck Norris joke. Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. The Earth does Chuck Norris-ups or something like that. I can't remember how it goes. But...
No. Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. The Earth does push-downs.
Yes, that's it. Thank you. My favorite Chuck Norris joke that I couldn't remember.
It's something like that, but yeah, I get the principle. Mel, before we get I don't know if I'm going to call it debrief, I'm not sure it's the right word, but before Shelly tells us about the fast riding she's done, how have you been? I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. Not like this. I watched last week, but not like this.
I know. We haven't seen each other's faces since we saw each other's faces in person.
This is true. Yes.
Yeah. I'm doing okay. It's been kind of crazy since got back from JordanCon, but good things are happening, good adventures planned. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to some fast riding next week.
Amazing. Yeah. I love that. And Shelly, it has been quite some time.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Well, I stopped by Andor to see Andor, visit Andor.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, it was lovely. I had a great tour guide. Yep, spent a day, met Queen Anna in person for the first time, which was lovely. She is adorable. Most importantly, I met Maverick, who is
not with me right now. He's asleep.
He's obviously as wonderful in person as he looks online. But no, Rob was a very gracious host. He earned much G taking care of me in my stupid jet lag. And losing my credit card and having all sorts of fun. So Rob did a delightful.
Oh, I forgot you did that. Yeah.
Yeah. It was great. It was great. He was generous and kind, and his roommate was excellent, both the furry one and the non-furry one. So yeah, wonderful. Had a great time in Manchester. It's a great city to visit. Highly recommend it. Especially if you like graffiti art. I really love graffiti art in the city, and there was a lot of that around. And then I far-strided to the Land of Madmen, which I have been to before, to be clear. But actually this time we spent some time in the Threefold Land, part of the Land of Madmen.
Ooh.
So we actually went out into the desert a little bit, saw this place called the Pinnacles, which is a really cool desert that has rock spires up in it.
Ooh. Did it have hoodoos?
I think that's what they're called in Utah. I don't. They call them pinnacles in Australia, but it was quite lovely.
Oh, okay.
Really cool. We did some stargazing, and then I went to So that was on one side of the Land of Madmen. On the other side, I went to this terrifying place called a rain forest. A forest of rain.
Wow.
Yeah, and I learned. You talk about the Land of Madmen, and people are like, "Oh, snakes, they're poisonous. Oh, spiders, they're big and poisonous." What they don't tell you there is that the leeches, so where I'm from, leeches, you have to go in water to be attacked by leeches.
Right.
In the rainforest there, the leeches hang off things and will swing out to bite you. Or they'll drop down from above and land on you. So everyone talks about the spiders, everyone talks about the snakes. No one talks about the leeches that can move.
Wow.
That was by far the scariest part of the Land of Madmen.
I'm not excited about that at all. Wow,
No.
you just really make it seem appealing.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I had lots of good food. The desert was lovely. I just had a wonderful time.
So,
miss you guys.
If a leech drops on you and proceeds to take your water, does the leech have toe, or does it have G for stealing the water?
Ooh, quite a question.
This is tough.
There's an important question in chat to follow this.
Okay.
And that is...
I guess it depends on the perspective, right?
Yeah. For the
Bain
other
Chiad...
leeches, I guess he is G.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is... Yeah, good point.
But
Bain Chiad says, your madman better be worth it. So I'm like...
That's not a question, though.
Well, I'm making it into a question.
Was that the question?
That's the question. I've made it into a question.
The question is the madman worth it? Well,
worth the death by leech, not death by leeches, but the
I would say
the leech ninjas.
Yeah, the person I was visiting was pretty good about keeping me from getting bit by things.
Good.
There are
Much
also
G.
giant ants there that I had to watch out for.
That's not very nice to say about your aunt. I had an uncle who was pretty big too once. Pretty handsy.
Yeah.
Watch out for them.
Yeah. Kevin chat. Toe leeches have toe.
Yeah.
Anyways, you just made it worse. You made it
That's
worse.
Fair. But I can make it better. I can make it better because there have been multiple requests for a certain thing. So 1 second. Let me push the special button, folks.
Butt rock.
Why was there no sound on that?
I know. And
that
now
was
we
disappointing.
have 2 more offline speakers that we can see backstage, apparently. This
no.
software's great.
It's a fun. This is a first time experience for Shelly using the software. I don't know why it was silent for me because I've got the sound feed on the wrong. I've got it on the preview rather than the live feed. Yeah, chat got sound on it. That's why
Okay.
I didn't get sound on it. But because I missed out on the dulcet tones of the innkeeper, I'm gonna do it again.
Butt rock.
That was so much better. Much better.
There we go.
There we go. Oh
You
god,
need
this has
him
been
all
fun.
the time. All the
Yeah.
time.
There we go. So, yeah, that's as for me, folks. Obviously, you saw me last week. I was here in my full Star Wars, not my full Star Wars getup, but like we were rocking May the 4th be with you, because why not? We'll honor that holiday. And the Mirror World, Rob, and I had fun with all the Mirror World hosts. Thank you again to everyone last week. Jess, Tree, Anis, and Beth, thank you. I had a moment there. I was just like, because I just wanted to call Beth Mel, and I'm like, no.
She did me so well.
Yeah.
She's replaced me in your mind. They were so funny. I was like sitting with Doyne and we were laughing our asses off the whole night. It was so great. I mean, just excellent. Just excellent. They should probably do a live show with you or something, like weekly. I don't know. Get rid of us.
Wow.
Like put those guys on screen all the time.
No.
So good.
You were equally amazing. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And I think they all enjoyed it too. We had a fun mix of people trying to play. Like, Anis was trying to be Bain Chiad, which was a lot of funsies. And then, like, Tree was trying to be a little bit not Shelly, but also a bit like Shelly. And then Beth was trying to be like you. But, yeah, so we had some people playing it straight. Some people be like, no, I'm going to be the opposite.
Good.
And, yeah. How did you feel about being your Mirror World persona was Chafail, Mel?
I was both like highly uncomfortable and yet at the same time just thought it was like a perfect choice. I was like, I think I put in the chat, I am so mad, but I am so happy. And that's kind of how I felt like the whole time. It was just so clever. I really loved it. Yeah.
And I have to say, Tree was very nervous about being Wisdom Shelly for the night. But I think she did an amazing job as well.
She was stunning.
In true Canadian fashion, she apologized multiple times in case she had been too mean.
Yeah.
To which I was like, I thoroughly expected the piss to be taken out. It's like, I want the piss to be taken out of me because I know I'm ridiculous. So let's all just laugh at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Noma Garden saying the crochet coming out had him howling.
So good. The whole conversation about lubricant was just I can't even tell you. This morning at work, we have machines that need lubricant, and there was a machine that needed more lubricant in it, and I literally was like, it's Thursday, you can't do this to me on Thursday. You can't put me in this mode this early in the day. And then they just kept talking about lubricant and other things to me all day and just like broke me just like constantly every day. And I was just like, how is this my life? I don't know how.
That sounds like a great Thursday.
Sometimes I don't know how people in those jobs like I assemble IKEA furniture, and every 30 seconds it's put it in the hole, better lubricate that. Like it's like entendre. I don't know how people in those jobs just aren't constantly.
I spend my whole day screwing, just all day long, and I can only pull it out on very small occasions because then everyone would be like, stop talking.
Workplace harassment.
You have to stop. We're going to hide you in the back where no one can see you. And I was like, but
not going in. It's not going in. How?
Yeah. So for those of you who know about manufacturing, there's a role in manufacturing called a machinist, and a machinist is a person who operates a CNC machine, which is a kind of machine that cuts metal into particular objects. And they have this whole tray that they pull out with little small bars that are precision sized to fit in particular slots. And he's like, this, I need to check this hole to make sure that this bar fits in the slot. And he just like sticking it in. And he's like, yep, it fits. And then he was like, okay, but I need to check and make sure it's not too big of a hole. So then he gets a different bar and he's like, oh, it's not going in. Like all day, this is my life.
I took an intro to like airplane mechanics course once.
Yeah.
And I was a teenager because I was thinking about being a pilot or an airplane mechanic. I wasn't sure. And so I got to take this course.
Awesome.
And our instructor decided to describe how pistons work by demonstrating like this. Mm-hmm. And couldn't figure out why a room full of teenagers just started howling at the fact of like trying to explain how pistons work. And he's like, what? You know, it just goes up and down. And you're just like, okay, yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yep. And then he got wildly, and I'm not sure how he'd never heard this. Like, I'm not sure how an airplane mechanic like lived his whole life, but basically the 4-stroke cycle, which is still funny, 4-stroke cycle is intake, compression, combustion, exhaust. And I'm hoping someone in the chat knows what the shorthand is for remembering that. Because I want to see them put it before me. But it's the way you remember it is.
All of this reminds me of last week when we were all on the Dusty Wheel and we were all trying to pretend that we were not consummated professionals, but like actual professionals. And there was one moment, and I can't remember what he was said, but I just had to look. I just had to look at Shelly, and hold eye contact with her through the screen for 30 seconds so that I kept it in. And Shelly was just like, you can do this. It was coming out of her. You don't have to answer anything about. And I just, the way we kept it together was just, he said something, there was something about screws. There was something about,
duties. That was the one that really set you off. Duties. Yeah. And sure Leigh-A or Bain Chiad was saying something incredibly intelligent, and we're just like,
yeah. But he also brought a tiny screw to a knife fight. We were good knights, and he was like, I have this really tiny piece of and I was just like, the jokes, they write themselves, but not here. So hard. I love Innkeeper so much, and we were trying so hard, and I had promised myself, I'm gonna be a good girl, and I was, but it was difficult. It was difficult.
I'm not sure the Innkeeper quite knew what he'd signed up for last week, because he was trying to rate things so Stabby's bad. It's no, Stabby's good, Innkeeper, actually. Come on, keep up now. Just things like that. And he started rating things on a Stabby scale, didn't he? Which was very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. He picked it up. He learned pretty quickly. Almost as quickly as you, but not quite. But pretty quickly.
And just so the chat's gotten pretty close. The way I learned the 4-stroke cycle is, which is better when you say it slower. Cycle, is instead of intake, compression, combustion, exhaust. The way you remember it is suck, squeeze, bang, blow.
I mean, chat's getting close, yeah.
Yeah, chat's getting very close. So, yeah, teenagers learning about pistons. Who knew it would lead to all of that?
There we go. So, shall we have a bit of a show?
Yeah. Let's do some shit.
Why not? So, folks, we're going to discuss... Now, Bain and Chiad couldn't be here tonight. They are clearly busy filming, obviously.
Clearly.
Season 3.
So we're going to talk about them.
So we're going to talk about them. And, we'll probably say good things. I assume we'll say good things. I'm going to say good things. So, but we thought we'd have a little bit of a chat with them. About them, not with them. Oh, God. I'm not doing very well at this tonight, am I?
Do you want to do that first or books first?
We'll do this first.
Okay.
Because I'm not prepped for books. Look, my computer, half an hour before the show, was like, I feel now's a good time to do a reset. And I'm like, oh, boy. And it was a long one as well. So I didn't get to start prepping for the show until far later than I should have. We'll just leave that there. But moving on from that, we have dug up a couple of real videos from Ragga and Maja. So, how help me again? Ragga's last name?
Ragnars.
Thank you, because despite the fact that I shouldn't muck that up, I do muck that up every time I say that. And I'm like, why? Why do I muck that up so much? It shouldn't. And then obviously Maja Simonson. Am I saying that right? Yeah, and Maja Simonson, our lovely Bain Chiad. So we've dug up a couple of their. Now I'm not playing the whole videos because Ragga's is like nearly 6 minutes long.
It's pretty long.
Yeah, it's a pretty long one. And I just clipped out a few bits from Maja's as well. So Ragga's is a little bit longer because there was a scene I wanted to capture that I thought was really good acting. And then the bit of a fight scene. And then Maja's, I clipped out, there was a lot of music playing in hers. So I clipped out some of the scenes where you hear a bit more talking. And there's, some just bits where the music's playing and stuff. But yeah, should we start with Ragga's? You want to go through?
Yeah.
Have some fun. All right, I'm going to put that on screen, folks, so you can have a watch. Hopefully the sound plays for you as well. If I've done everything the way I should have, fingers crossed. It's been a last-minute rush. But here we go, folks. Please enjoy Ragga's clip of her reel. And we'll put in the show afterwards in the description where you can find these so you can watch them as well.
Yeah, it's one of the few things I can say about myself is certain.
What's your name? Lagatha must have a great funeral.
John.
She must
Keep it all bottled up inside.
Yeah? Not exactly.
No, 1 second, that's not working how it should be. Because I've got both going at the same time, and that's not...
I also can't hear it, so I'm going to have nothing to add from this except facial expression.
There's on the live preview thing, there's actually like a volume button that you can toggle on and off.
Will you guys hear it?
No.
No.
All right. Now we're actually ready because it was playing both at the same time, and I was like, that doesn't feel right. So let's try that one more time, folks. This should hopefully work properly now.
Lagatha must have a great funeral. She meant so much to so many. And I will return for it.
No, you are still too weak.
I was weak when I did not go back to Kattegat with Lagatha. Perhaps I could have saved her life. I will not be weak now when we say goodbye to her.
Who would willingly sacrifice themselves to go with Lagatha?
I will.
I cannot allow it, Toby. You are carrying a child. The child has not agreed to go to the next world with Lagatha. It must be one of you. And the gods have already made their choice. Let them show us.
Farewell, Lagatha. My shield, my hero. One day we shall meet again in the halls of the Asir, and you will teach me once more how to fight as a woman and how to prevail. For women always prevail. That is what you taught me, and that is the truth.
Right. So did you see all that, Shelly?
I did.
Awesome.
I hope the sound wasn't doubling up for everyone.
No, it was not
No,
doubling
no,
up as
no.
far as I can tell. So yeah, amazing.
Yeah, it does that for me too, but I don't think anyone else hears it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so now I know, Mel, you watched that previously because I think you're the one that sent it into the chat,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So, Shelly, that's the first time you've seen that, and obviously that's not the full 6-minute video. What did you think?
I got kind of chills at the end. Might be the music. I feel like I was being manipulated by the didgeridoo there.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, it was really good. It's nice to know she can fight. As the
She
chat
does her
had-
own stats,
Yeah.
right?
I do
She
all my
was
own
not
stunts.
afraid to share.
Yeah. The chat is stealing our joke, saying, "Oh, she's on water fighting with a sword." But yes, but she's doing it well.
Much
I mean,
G.
Mm-hmm.
the limit that it seemed like good acting. Like, I'm excited. It looks good. And
Yeah,
like, little crush on her. Little crush on her.
I mean,
Not
how
gonna lie.
could you not? How
Yeah.
could you not?
So, yeah, obviously a lot of fun jokes in chat about this. Light Blinded Full Viking Apocalypse seems very Aiel. If you take away the sword aspect of Vikings, you know, and the fact they live somewhere cold as opposed to a desert, and being in a like a tundra, like a cold tundra is
Extreme
a form of desert.
climates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So technically, like, and you know, Antarctica is a desert because it's a lack of drinkable water that makes an area a desert. So deserts can be extremely cold or extremely hot. They go both ways. Hey,
Are you like
So do we.
look, I studied geography. Okay, like that's a thing. So yeah.
He's waste-splaining.
He really is.
The reason I played that bit at the beginning, I just thought it was an amazing scene of her, you know, saying, no, we need to honor this woman who's clearly died, and then asking someone to go with her and things like that, and then like, no, you know, child is not given consent, and then talking about the woman who's passed. It was just, I don't know, something about that felt very Aiel to me, like how she was honoring a sister in battle of some kind.
Yes. Also a shield maiden.
Yeah.
Like that.
Mm-hmm. It's there's also, I mean, there's a very moving scene in there involving a child that she loses. You know, there's a lot in that 6 minutes, and I think it's Roger who's in chat saying they've been watching, or they've watched Vikings. Apparently, she's amazing in it. So
Yeah, I watched it too, and that's where I knew her from. And I feel like they really picked someone who has a lot of depth for a role that I feel like maybe in the books didn't get. Like, she was almost like a, you know, like a comedic, like, castaway, you know, kind of like she would just like make a quip every now and then, but there wasn't a lot of depth to Bain as a character. No offense, Bain Chiad, but like, you know what I mean? Like she's just like, she's an accent. She didn't have like a whole story. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they've cast someone who has the capability of taking potentially moments and turning them into a whole story in itself, just from like the small things that we've seen from her. And also she does her own stunts, which is pretty fantastic.
She does do her own stunts. This is very true.
We'll see if that fighting technique extends to, you know, using a spear, which is a completely different style.
Yes. So a bit of background information for you folks if you don't know. Ragga she's also a 2-time Olympic swimmer. She competed in the Olympics in 2004 and 2008.
I was literally thinking that was a good dive.
Mm-hmm. She is a multiple Icelandic record holder and Icelandic champion for her swimming as well. She is, in terms, if you want to know any physicality, she's 6'2", or for those that use the other system, 1.88 meters tall.
Is that really what you say? You say
no.
I'm 1.88 meters tall?
No, I say 5'10", 6 foot, whatever.
188 centimeters.
188 centimeters, yes.
Do you really say that? That's so many things to say coming out of your mouth.
I mean, it's no worse than Americans. At least they didn't say she's like 30 pop cans tall.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole meme channel. There's a whole channel on the internet dedicated to things Americans will use other than the metric system.
Yep.
They measured an asteroid in ferrets. Like.
There's literally on major news, there was a pothole in the road described in width of like, it's about a washing machine size width.
School buses and football fields are very big.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do spend a lot of time measuring things in water bottles. I'm going to be honest.
There we go. So, but yeah.
That reminds me. I bought something from the market today, and it was $10 a pound. And so he goes, okay, it's 1.5 pounds. I'm like, okay, so $15. He's like, whoa, you're good at math.
Wait, so it was actually measured in pounds and not kilograms?
Yeah.
Interesting.
We get a lot of American tourists at the market near me.
I love this. That's amazing. So yeah, I'm excited to see Ragga play Bain. I think someone's just where was it in chat? I just saw a second ago. Let me just scroll back and find it. I thought it was quite an interesting take. This chat's going very quick tonight, which is good fun. Light blinded fool. Here we go. Bain is the responsible half. Chiad the dreamer half. Now I just want to bear that in mind, folks. So just keep that for a hot second. I'm going to try and pin that. And
that's really good. That's really good.
It's a really interesting comment because I think that's a good segue for us to play Maja's reel, or the highlights I've taken from her reel.
Wait, I need to make one more comment about Bain.
Absolutely, go for it. We'll chat about them both still. Don't worry. It's not like we're cutting off the Bain conversation. I'm
super curious how, and I think she rolls her R's, and I can't do it, but Ragga. There we go. How she is going to be able to play off a confusion about water, a fear of water as an Olympic swimmer. I think that would be really interesting. And also it would be very funny if they kind of tongue-in-cheeked it about how she says something about how she doesn't know how to swim, or, they kind of go a little meta into that and reference her skills.
It'd be pretty funny if they made her do a belly flop or something.
yeah, exactly.
She'd totally be super graceful doing it, wouldn't she?
Yeah, exactly.
If they wanted to be meta, what they should do is they should almost have, I don't know, someone nearly drown, and then Ragga has to jump in and very poorly attempt to save them from the water.
Yeah.
But she's still doing it pretty amazing. It's just and they'll be like, Bain, I didn't know you could swim. And she's like, I can't.
Oh no! That would be so good. That would be good.
Yeah. Initially, I was like, perhaps she should be the one pretending to drown. I'm like, no, that's not meta. That's just, that doesn't work. So, but yeah, we'll segue into Maja's reel now and talk a little bit about Maja, and then we'll just talk about them both. And but yeah, just bear in mind that comment I put on the screen a second ago, because this is entertaining, I think. So let me just switch these over so we don't get them playing doubled again. And here we go. This is music as well. This is Maja's reel. Enjoy, folks.
Yeah, that's one of the few things I can say about myself for certain.
What's your name?
John.
You keep it all bottled up inside.
Huh? What exactly am I supposed to do with it?
Let it go.
This is the most exclusive club on the island because we book the best DJs, not party boys who bail on set, show up late to meetings, and then don't have fresh music to play.
No, I do.
Don't waste my time on pricks like him again, Danny. Are you Joel Hamilton, CEO?
Not for much longer.
How long's left on the clock?
I always had a thing for you.
Very cool, hey?
Not the temperature I was thinking of.
Not the temperature we're thinking. So now I just want to let's scroll back to this comment. So Bain is the responsible half, Chiad the dreamer half. I feel like Maja's reel was much more of a dreamer and carefree and a party aspect of things.
Was she telling off Idris Elba in that clip?
Yes.
She was telling us. I mean, I didn't get that carefree thing. I got power and totally take charge kind of lady, doesn't take any shit from anybody, and yet it's still just totally going to lure you in and take charge of every situation. It's perfect. It's perfect for someone who has really poor taste in men, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I didn't mean doesn't care, doesn't take responsibility for anything. More a case of you know, Bain is always serious. You know, doesn't let the hair down, doesn't party. Like, there's always a level of, you know, there's stuff to do. I'm in charge, you know. I don't know how you want to describe that. But whereas I think Chiad, you know, if you compare the two reels, it'd be like, I'll party. I'm still the boss, but I'll party, you know. And so I just got a bit more of that sort of look at it. Like, you know, I don't have to be serious all the time. So it was a fun way to describe it when I saw like Blindful's comment. Yeah, I love, Is it warm in here? Yes, Daniel, it is a little warm in here now.
Yeah. Yeah, it just reminds me. I mean, I think do you have a cut of the Q&A of them in the Q&A? It just reminds me of that comment that she made about
but I will get it.
She can't. You don't have to.
I will find it.
But she said she can't live without Ragga. Ragga. Ragga.
Yeah.
Is there an H on it? Like Hala? Like Ragga?
Ragga. I think something like that. And that she also can't live without her. And I feel like that's very endemic of those two together. I'm really excited to see how they work them in and how they frame their relationship with Avienda and how deeply, I'm curious how deeply they go into the first sister relationship in this season versus other seasons. I mean, because if they set that up almost, I don't know. I mean, they could set that up really early. They could set that up this season, but the culmination for the main cast or whatever won't happen for like almost maybe at least another season or maybe even 2 more seasons, right? So I don't know how much they'll dive into that this early. What do you guys think?
Shelly?
I feel like similar to the Warder Bond, we're gonna have to see something to have it make sense, because it's very odd. Like, I would never look at those two physically and be like, oh, they're sisters. And so I think having that, if they're going to play on the first sister and the fact that the weaves do create some sort of connection there that is like, you know, slightly fantastical, I think they're going to have something to show it. Yeah. Maybe they'll draw it out and hint at it, but otherwise I think it's like the Warder Bond. It doesn't make sense until it's kind of explained.
Right.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to them interacting with Fail. Like, just based on what they've done with other characters, I'm interested to see how they're going to adapt Fail to. I think, like, she's a controversial character in the books, right? Like, she's definitely got her issues with the way she's written. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do with her and how they adapt that relationship as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
I think it would be really interesting if, you know, in the Battle of the Two Rivers, so that would be season 3, that they almost mimic the movements of Moraine and Lan in front of the Wine Spring Inn between Bain and Chiad to kind of like illustrate that relationship with physicality.
Interesting.
Or one is fighting off something far away and the other one is fighting off what's near, and they're like moving in concert with each other. It would be really cool if there were echoes of that.
Yeah.
I'd like that idea, yeah. I think that would be... It would show they've worked together, specifically the two of them, for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, show their bond.
And they can sense each other and they can move. I mean, that's what I always appreciated about that, is like you could tell that there was like they didn't have to communicate verbally to move in concert with each other and complement each other's movements, and that was really, I think, really illustrated very well in that very first episode. They established that very well, and I think it would be cool if they illustrated that with other kinds of versions of that bond relationship, like Bain and Chiad have.
Yeah, it would be a very subtle way to show it, but the show likes doing that, doesn't it? We get little, you know, callbacks to moments, mirror moments. So you could almost have similar, not necessarily obviously fighting in a similar situation because they're not going to be, using the one power. But
right, but I mean, they would be in the
But, like,
same place, in the same village, and they would
right,
be,
probably some of the same moves where Moraine's throwing out like fireballs, for example. One of them
Right.
could be throwing a spear.
right,
While
exactly.
the other one's
Yeah.
spinning around behind or something. So yeah, and pretty
Yeah.
much you could almost
I'm,
copying it.
I'm thinking about in Wonder Woman where they have that shield move where they like
Ooh, yes.
where, like they launch each other off the shields.
Yes, that would be really cool.
They just like they have things that they've practiced and coordinated, and then when they're in battle, they can just kind of. It's like how we always practice our jokes in advance, so they seem natural.
This is true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We
In
are
all
well
our
rehearsed.
professional rehearsals.
Yes, consummated professionals.
Yes. So I do have. I've been scrolling through. I have where they talk about if we want to see them interacting, where Ragga starts doing the "I do my own stunts" thing. So let me bring that over.
I'm gonna go feed my cat while we're watching this because she is being obnoxious in the background. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
She's great.
Yeah. So here it is. I'm just going to play it from here. I put the subtitles on so you can see what we're doing. Oh, no, 1 second, because I've got the sound very low while I was searching for it, so I didn't deafen myself. So let's turn that back up.
Well, and so you'll see that always bled through the show. Each of our IEL characters, and I'll say that in season 2, you'll see a slightly different fighting style from each of them, and a lot of that is built from the Incredible Stunts team.
I perform all my own stunts.
Yeah.
So far. I do. So far.
We do all of our own stunts, and then there is parts where our incredible stunt doubles will step in and make the leap through the air actually leave the ground rather than.
I do the leaping though.
Yeah.
Does everything. I do everything.
The safe stuff we try and do ourselves, and the stuff that's less safe but very cool, we get our amazing stunt to do that. And it's really good. We get to learn the whole routine and kind of go through it, so you have that feeling of cohesion and connection with your stunt double and with each other. And then you film versions where we do it all and swap in with one stunt double or two stunt doubles and kind of have that, so you have all angles covered. But one day we will do absolutely everything.
Yeah.
They're gonna do everything, guys. Everything.
Absolutely everything.
Absolutely everything.
Do absolutely everything. Ugh. So good.
I do enjoy their the way they just. They clearly have been working together a while because there was just the conversation just went back and forth, and there was no talking over each other, not at least in a way that people that don't work together would end up doing because they just wouldn't recognize each other's cues. So it's very cute. I'm trying to find the bit where they talk about what I always need. It's just that's a cute moment, and obviously
it was the question of how are you like your characters?
Ah, right. Okay.
What you drinking, Mel? Looks like so fancy in that glass.
My brother, about a couple years ago, started brewing mead.
Oh,
so
nice.
This is orange blossom and blackberry mead that he gave me about 5 months ago, and he said you have to wait 4 months until you could open it. And I was like, tonight felt like the right night to open it. Shelly's back. It's a good mead night. And so I poured myself a glass of this. And it's really, really tasty. It's really good. And so he puts it in a big, 1.5-liter bottle and lets it ferment for a while. And
wow.
Yeah, he makes some mead, and sometimes he shares it with me.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It just looks so fancy.
It does indeed. Right, I think I have the clip here. So let me bring that back across and hit play.
I hope I share
hello
those characteristics with them.
A trait that both me and my character have in common is that we're very tall and I guess strong as well.
A trait that me and my character has in common would be that I need Ragga all the time.
Pretty much does.
I can't think of anything.
Hasn't really come up on the show yet.
It's just so cute.
I love that comment. I also love that Ayula's like, no, nothing. I'm not a I have nothing to comment with.
She's like, I mean, did you see it? She kind of just went, oh, and it's
I
like, no, I
know.
can't think of anything because just you two are melting. You know, it was very cute.
Yeah, they're so perfect.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I'm so excited to see them on screen.
Yeah, me too.
And you're so right, Rob. They definitely, especially in that section, that they definitely show that there's such a, I mean, and also in amazing pictures we've seen of them that we've like drooled over for a long time. Well, a couple weeks, but like they definitely show that they've definitely bonded. Like the two of them have bonded very well and have a really good friendship at least. And I'm so excited to see that show up on screen.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm just trying to find. So I'll just put the thumbnail up. That's probably the easiest way to do it. But yeah, this photo. 1 second. And just transition that across. So obviously this is the photo I've used as the thumbnail for tonight's show. Just taken. It's just a picture of the two of them. I have no idea what they're up to in this scene. This picture they've taken. But like I said, they just look like they're best friends, don't they? You know. It's very cute. It should be. Did you not see it?
I'm not seeing it in the live preview.
It was the thumbnail that I put in our chat earlier anyway, Shell.
All right. There we go.
Yeah, okay.
I've got YouTube on my phone because I'm still figuring out how to chat with this whole system. So
yeah, it's a very new system, isn't it? So
smoky eyes and cheekbones.
It's weird because I feel like that picture almost looks like they're in a car.
It does, doesn't it?
And yet they're wearing shufa. And so I don't know, are they wearing shufa? Or did they find scarves that reminded them of their costume shufa and bought them? And then
maybe
we're in a car together, like hanging out. I don't understand the context of this picture, but they're so just jaw-droppingly addictive to stare at.
Maybe they took the car as part of the fifth in a raid.
Maybe.
Ooh.
This is very possible.
Yep.
Maybe they found something from the Age of Legends.
Yeah. This is.
Yes.
I mean, they're just.
Yeah. For anyone curious, in terms of height, so obviously you can see that Ragga in that video is much taller. She's 6'2". Maja is 5'8", or if you want to be metric, 173 centimeters tall.
So many words.
I know. A lot of words.
You could have just been like, she's like as tall as like a grizzly bear. I mean, you could have just like 4 pandas tall.
She's 3 raccoons tall.
3 raccoons tall.
4 sloth claws standing on each other.
Oh my god, this is hilarious. You two are just.
She's actually just like 3 stacked sheep in Caddensaur.
Yeah, 3 stacked sheep in Caddensaur.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah.
Folks, if you're not following either of their socials, you really should, because it's hilarious stuff. Ragga posted the other day on her stories and was like, what sort of content do you want to see on Instagram? And I can't remember, like, one person was just like, more of your amazing swimsuits. So I'm hoping that was a polite comment. There was another one. Yeah. There was another one about something like their journeys or something like the amazing views she keeps seeing of where she was or goes to regularly. So obviously, I hope a lot of Wheel of Time fans went and answered that and says like IEL content. I certainly did, folks. So please make sure you go.
Fighting montages, please.
Yes.
Yeah, I was watching earlier today. She's in a music video. And there was a music video where she plays a character who's like working really hard, and then she like takes a break and goes on a swim, and it like gives her peace. And so then she like totally doesn't go back to work and then just goes to the ocean and dives in the ocean. And it's like, like reveling in the ocean. not anything I would recommend normally, but
Right.
you know, if one of my spear sisters is doing it, I feel like there must be some sort of appeal to that. And she really seemed to like be at home in the water. Very cold water.
Just to point out, Maja is not a former Olympian or a swimmer or anything of that sort of nature, folks. And she hails from Paris, if you're curious where her accent might be coming from. Yeah, so no Olympian there, but, you know, that's fair. Not everyone can be an Olympian, you know, so. You can see her in things like Emily in Paris and Kingsman, and she's been in a couple of bits of pieces on like stage work and stuff like that. So, but yeah, go check out the Instagram pages of both these very talented ladies, because I've recently... Wait, apparently she answered the Aiel question? I need to go check this out. Okay, right, 1 second. Screen share is going to Instagram.
So I guess we vamp while you're looking for that.
Instagram.
Vamp.
The gram. Bring up the gram. Okay.
How much do you think, Shelly? How much do you think? Like, I mean, clearly they're in season 2, but like, how much do you think that they would be in season 3 if they're with the parent contingent?
I suspect that they're going to rejig the timelines in the books a little bit because, just having characters we love drop off for a whole season is probably not going to be great for the show. So I think they're going to change some of the timelines a little bit, if I had to guess. So I think that we hopefully won't come across that. I know for me, I think I'm just going to be upset. Like, I'm just going to want a whole Aiel show. Like,
right?
I'll just be like, okay.
You want like the Shadow Rising season, right?
Yeah. When I watched Lord of the Rings, I'm like, fuck the ring. I just want Aragorn, Return of the King, and like the ring is secondary. This is how I feel about the Wheel of Time show now. I'm just going to want nothing but Aiel. Be like, dragon. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Fair. Very fair.
Yeah.
All right. So 1 second. Let me flip this over. So it's on screen. This is not the greatest screen. I've just used the 5 setup. So this is what people are saying. Here we go.
Much water.
What do you want to see? Viking content. So she's put that up there. More beautiful Icelands.
Aww.
Done. Look at that. That's stunning. Iceland is an incredible country in terms of its geology. And then, so this was the travels bit. There we go. So you in Iceland. So this is her walking now. Look, that's incredible. Look at that. Just it's like a absolute minuscule. So much water. And then here, someone said swimsuits. I was just like, oh god, please tell me they're just a swimmer themselves, and they're But what a way to answer that question as well. Like, okay, yeah, here's a swimsuit, and then this is the Aiel content I got. So never mind. And I was asking people to vote for Iceland in the Eurovision Song Contest, which is happening right now. And we just got to watch the rest of this anyway.
I think Sweden is set to win Eurovision. I'm not sure, just saying.
Fair enough. Biohacking is something she does, and more biohacking. She's a big fan of that, apparently.
Okay.
Your breathtaking photos in hot springs. There we go. And that's the end of it. And now we're scrolled on to just random Instagram accounts that I follow.
I would get into that water for that view.
Yeah?
I mean...
It's a pretty incredible view.
I would need some sort of assistive device, probably, before I got into water. But if Ragga wanted to be my assistive device, I would be down with that. Yeah. Or any. Yeah.
I love this Andrew Dash.
Just hold their hands like a princess going in.
I think Ragga might steal the next butt rock title of season 2 of her Instagram photos, respectfully. Yeah.
Wow. Well, we have a lot to look forward to, don't you guys think?
Yeah.
I think we do. Yeah. This is pretty amazing. I'm missing some of the comments in chat while I do some of these things, and it's quite funny. So apologies if you said something in chat that's hilarious and I've missed it, because obviously that's not intentional. Right, ladies.
Chat knows we always go back and watch because they're hilarious and we miss it while we're going through.
I do see every episode. I go back and just watch the chat, like literally because I'm
Chat is
terrible at
pretty funny.
multitasking. I always watch again to watch the chat because you guys are my favorite part of the show.
Yeah.
No
agree.
offense.
That's fine. That's okay. We can let that slide. So now I've just realized we don't have this loaded up in this new software, so we don't have the reading rainbow thing.
What?
That's
we
terrible.
talked about this for like a week.
A week?
We told you we wanted to talk about books.
That's yes, fair. Did not say,
Here, I'll just look a rainbow.
No. This is not how this works.
Jingle,
Yeah,
jingle, jingle,
I mean, you
jingle.
can do that
Imagine
all you want.
Pavara making old tongue words.
Yeah,
on
old
your
time.
Making old tongue words.
screen.
Yeah, hilarious.
Wait.
Kind of a rainbow.
Kind of a rainbow.
Wait.
I got purple.
Wait.
got
Oh, I put it in the wrong order. Oh, wait. Flip it this way. There we go.
You guys are brilliant. 1 second. We're almost there.
I apparently just have colors that are different variations.
Aw.
There we go, folks. Reading rainbow.
Good job.
Now you're gonna have to vamp for a second because I was doing the books while you were saying that, and then I was like, well, now I'm gonna go do that instead. So
What are you doing? But that's okay. I didn't send you any graphics, so I can just.
You can just jump in
Oh
here.
yeah. So
And then
yeah,
you
actually,
can work
Ghost
on
Pictures. I can
Shelly's
work on-
thing.
because Shelly sent me graphics. So
Friends, I've been holding on to this for a very long time.
do you have the book with you, Mel?
I do.
Okay, brilliant.
Because we need to do a dramatic reading of this book.
Okay.
We need to talk about wombats.
Do I need to turn the music off?
No, it's good. Let's keep it.
Okay.
This is a very important story that everyone needs to know. So, this is a comic by the Oatmeal. Sorry for the glare. Listen. We needed to talk about wombats. There's a lot we could say about wombats. They're cute. They're cute.
They are very cute.
They're marsupials who can weigh up to 80 pounds or 36 kilograms, which is a boring number and very long.
Thank you.
Their closest relatives are koalas. And wombats actually weigh as much as 3 koalas. 3 koalas.
So this book is clearly American then.
Wombats dig 100-foot, 30-meter long burrows with dozens of entrances. And a group of wombats is called a wisdom.
Oh.
And they can run at 25 miles per hour or 40 kilometers per hour, which is still too many words to say. That is nearly the same speed as Usain Bolt. They're very fast. Very fast. Fast wombat. But we're not here to talk about that. We're not here to talk about that, actually.
Okay.
None of that is relevant. We're here to talk about butts.
1 second. What? Wait. Get that stupid thing right.
Dramatic.
Butt rock.
Here to talk about butts.
There we go. Felt like it
That is
required
quite the butt that wombat has.
Quite the butt. You've probably heard that wombats make cube-shaped turds, right? Did you know that? Did you guys know that about wombats? If not, congratulations! You've just learned a fun fact! That's a wombat turd. Your brain probably deleted a childhood memory in order to make space for that fun fact. Sorry about that. Maybe it was a memory of your dad pushing you really high on the swing set. And that memory is now gone and has been supplanted by a 6-sided block of marsupial feces. Higher, Papa. Higher. Yes, my child. But the fun facts don't stop there. No. Wombats actually crap out 80 to 100 of these turds per day. If humans pooped this often, averaging 4 inches, 10 centimeters per turd, we'd make 33 feet, 10 meters of poop per day. So much poop. Look at all the turds. So many perfect cubes. That's roughly the height of 11.5 koalas. But they beg the question, why is wombat poop shaped like that? Why? Their stacked poop is used to mark their territory and also attract potential mates. Their turd totems are basically a wombat's version of a keep out sign or a dating profile. Aw, how cute. And the reason wombat poop is cube-shaped is so that they can stack it on a variety of tall, uneven surfaces, such as logs or rocks, without it rolling away. Structural integrity. Basically, they are playing butt Jenga.
Butt Jenga.
As a means of communication. Extraordinary, yes? What do you think? But that's still not why we're here today, to have this conversation about wombats. That's not why. We are actually here to talk about butt cheeks.
Butt cheeks.
Wombat butt cheeks are composed of bone plates that have fused together to form a protective shield. On top of that shield is a layer of fat, skin, and fur. The shield looks like this. This is their butt cheek diagram. When attacked, a wombat will dive into a burrow with their rump facing outward. And this is because their armored butts contain very few nerve endings, so when they're scratched, bitten, they barely feel it. Wombat thumb is 100% secure. They basically have Captain America's shield embedded in their incredible butt plates. And while in this defensive position, a wombat will often flatten its body out, leaving a gap between themselves and the roof of their burrow. This way. This. When a predator pokes its head into that butt gap, the wombat will do something remarkable. The wombat will slam its bottle-hardened buttocks upward, crushing the predator's skull with a series of breathtaking butt slams. It looks like this. Wham, 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 wham.
I mean, what a way to go.
And this, my dear reader, is why we're having a conversation about wombats. They have surface-to-skull missiles, marvelous murder cheeks, weaponized ham slammers. Wombats are adorable, huge, high-speed marsupials who defecate Lego bricks and crush the skulls of their enemies using brutal, beautiful butts. Specifically, butt rocks. They are extraordinary, and I think about them often. And you should too.
Amazing. That is apparently how the red. Yeah, ramen rattle.
Ramen rattle. That was.
It's apparently how the red Aja does it as well. Bafara says, and I think we need to just finish that off with the butt rock itself.
Butt rock.
Yeah. So I just think that was needed.
Can you read all my books to me, Mel? That was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, when inspiration takes, I just can't help it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Melindhra 1 says +7 butt armor. Yeah.
And he's got a D6 to roll if he needs it. Perfect.
Yeah. This is true. Fados, my grandma, is using the G in chat, but unfortunately it doesn't show up as it translates through to the software. But if you're watching on on YouTube, you'll see the G slang. But yeah, it's that was incredible. I see why you wanted to go first.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I don't want to follow that. I had like music.
No.
Oh, great. Let's have a good night.
Listen, we wanted to do some Reading Rainbow, and we have very divergent Reading Rainbow inspiration for today. But it is in line, for those of you who are new, with how this show generally goes. So I will now hand over. I'm sorry.
I don't put out Winter's Lady saying, sorry, I've got the wrong one there. Winter's Lady saying, I really hope the butt rock pick will be updated after season 2. I would love, can you imagine if we got a new butt rock picture every season? Or perhaps every season we should
add
pick
to it.
Yeah, we could add to it. Or I could just randomize which butt rock picture you get. I could have like 2, 3, 4, 5, like potentially up to like 8 or 10 different butt rock buttons.
I'm down for butt surprise.
Yeah.
That
would be pretty much incredible. So yeah. But Shelly, hey, get that? But Shelly, you have some Reading Rainbow for us as well.
I do.
Which one do you want to start with? Because you had 3 to choose from, and I'm ready to display any one of the 3 copies.
Let's make the transition a bit smoother. Let's start with the duology, because it's not as funny as Butts, but it's hopeful and chipper. The way I now feel about
the duology.
Yeah. So Prayer for the Crown Shot and Song for the Wild Built.
Oh, with that. Okay, right. Okay. So I thought they were all right. 1 second. That's fine. So
that's okay. We can do them. I mean, the 2 just go together. Sorry, that's why I didn't.
Gotcha. Okay. So first up, I'll put on screen. They'll still be able to hear.
Someone who does an advice column, I am terrible at communicating.
No, it's totally fine. So Shelly, these 2 books go together, as Shelly's just pointed out to me, and I've put them as separate images. So I'll show you the first one here, a psalm for the wild built. And then the other one, Shelly, you said, is a prayer for the crown shy.
Yes.
Lovely. And there's that one there for you to see, folks. So, Shelly, take it away and tell us about these books.
All right. So, am I on the screen, or is it still the book cover?
It's still the book cover for a hot second, but I'm just about to put you back on screen. They can hear you regardless, so don't worry.
Okay, good to know.
And now you're back on screen.
Sorry. So these 2 books are a duology, and they are called the Monk and Robot duology. And the reason they're called this is because they are about a monk and so the setting of the world is kind of a bit of a post-apocalyptic, quite far in the future. Something has happened. We've lost a lot of our technology. The world has changed. And in this society, monks have arisen. And the job of these monks is basically to sit and have tea with people who need help. And this monk is very good at his job. I think their job, actually, if I remember the gender correctly. This monk is very good at their job. And they find one day that even though they're good at their job, and even though they gave up so much to be good at this job, they just don't feel satisfied. And so the monk does what many of us wish we could do. And I mean, I know I'm not alone in this, when I talk about I just want to take off and live in a van by the woods. The monk does that. He takes a bicycle into the woods and meets a robot. And the conversations between this monk and this robot are the most charming conversations you will ever read. Because they just come from such different perspectives. And what what the author Becky Chambers does so well is them trying to explain their perspectives to each other. Gender. What does it mean to be called an it? What does it mean to be called a thing? What makes a person? What makes humanity? What makes people want? What do people need? And they have these philosophical conversations in this charming way. And I'm just kind of describing both books because one is a continuation of the other. And the robots have been sent to try and find out what humans need, because there was some reason that they're not super clear about in the books as to why the robots aren't there anymore. So I like to describe these books as therapy in book form, because they have so many conversations about what is it to self-care? What is it to have actualization? What is it to be realized? It is such a beautiful book. I was reading it the whole time and I was just like, oh, this is what I need someone to say to me, or what I pay someone $150 an hour to say to me. So it's wonderful. I think everyone should read it. I think it's a beautiful vacation book. And I think I just love, there's so many charming little parts of it that you don't expect. So the one spoiler I will give, so plug your ears because I think this is my favorite scene, is the monk manages to get laid. And the robot is just so happy for him. And wants to ask all these questions. And the monk's just kind of like, And then they have this conversation about shame. And why is it shameful? And why shouldn't I give you a high five if you got laid? And like they talk it through. And it's such a delight. And just the way Chambers does it is great. So I highly recommend these two books. They're a great read. They're not super long. They're novellas. And they're just very charming. And I think they're just books we all need to kind of read, and it's kind of the love. It's like the author is loving us in a way we all need to be loved right now. So that's how I would describe those books.
That's amazing.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think Brian in chat saying they're novellas.
Yeah. So the second book, which I don't think you put the picture up, The Prayer for the Crown Shy.
I did, yes. It did go up, yeah.
Yeah. So they're two books. They're duologies. They're novellas. They're very easy reads. They didn't take me long at all.
Nice.
Yeah, and they're lovely. They're absolutely lovely.
Okay, post-show, folks, I will add those books. I'll add all the books from tonight because there's another book still to come in the description. But yeah, that sounds great. I mean, the fact that they're like short and they're connected, but could you like read one without the other? Would it make sense?
You do have to read them in order, I think.
Okay, right.
For them to make sense. But they're such a delight. You're gonna want to read the second one right away, anyways, because you're just gonna want to keep feeling that like warm hug.
Wow.
And
I need to go to the library and see if they have these books.
Yeah, and I think I would like to become a tea monk.
A tea monk.
Yeah.
That just sounds pretty incredible. Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Yep.
That sounds like a great job. And you'd be really good at it, Shelly.
I think so. I like tea. I like picnics on a blanket. I like spreading out my charcuterie and tea and just talking to people. I think I'd be pretty good at it.
Light Blind Fool makes an interesting point in chat. I think I'd be okay with a high five after I got laid, but I'd probably not want to give someone else a high five after they got laid until they took a shower first.
Fair.
I get that.
Unless you're high-fiving the person you got laid with, in which case.
Yeah. Ooh.
No shame.
Yeah. And I'm hoping
it.
someone caught the joke of the self-high five there.
I love that. Okay, and you had, I was going to say another book, but like another book after these two books, because this is now the third book you want to suggest. So this is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. There we go. Yes, sorry, I'm just in the A's. Let me transition that onto screen there. There it is, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Okay, so I feel like this is the one we need tissues for, you, as you said in chat.
I mean, I think when you read it, you'll require tissues. So this is the story of a girl from 1600s France, who I think many of us will relate to, doesn't fit in the world she's born into. You know, because in 1600s France, a woman had a couple options. They were get married or become a nun, basically. And she chooses neither. And the way she chooses this is, one of the first phrases the book opens up with is, every god who answered your prayer has a price, but beware the gods that answer after dark. Is basically kind of what it says. And so a god who answers after dark answers her prayer one day, which is basically that she has freedom. And I would say that as in many fantasy novels, as we all know, when you make a deal, you've got to be very careful about your wording, and she is not. So basically, Addie LaRue is now a woman who no one can remember.
Oh.
So every time you turn your head, you forget she exists. And this is the story of her life trying to, it flashes back and forth in time. So it's, set in modern day New York, and then it'll flash back to France. And so it's kind of goes back. And so the story builds, you see what the consequences are of someone never remembering you. And it's fascinating because it's like, everyone's like, oh, absolute freedom. That sounds amazing. But then you think about the devastation of literally no one remembers your coffee order. They forget you. The dentist walks out of the room, walks back. Why are you here? Her parents forget her. So,
gosh,
it's a very
heartbreaking.
It's a very heartbreaking book because, as you can guess, she'll fall in love, but the other person will never remember her. But what I think I like most about this book is it's a tragedy in the most beautiful sense. So it's not a happy ending. Like, I'll give you that right now. Like I was telling Bain and Chiad, when you're in a long distance relationship, it might not be the book you want to read, because it is about impermanence of love, and it is very strong love. And the lesson of the book is it's better to have loved than lost than never to have loved at all. But it sucks to live that. And so it's I think that's in Men in Black when he's like, oh, it's better to live in lost than never to have loved at all, and the guy goes, try it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this book is like. And so it's a beautiful book. It's well written. The prose is good. The chapters are very short, so I ended up staying up late multiple nights in a row just to try and finish it because I got so into it. And even though there's not a wide cast of characters, I would say each of the characters is quite charismatic, quite charming, quite fleshed out. So it's a very good character book. The critique I would give to it is it can be a little repetitive. So if the flashback style is not one you like, you might not like it. But it kind of fits with the theme of being forgotten because, you just keep living the same thing over and over again, and only you remember it. So highly recommend it. Have a box of tissues near the end. You just don't see a well-written tragedy all that often, like actual kind of and I mean that in kind of the Shakespearean Greek sense, that tragic arc. Beautiful. Absolutely great book. I had to post about it on several Discords and be like, help, I'm having feels.
Wow.
Yeah. Highly recommend.
Amazing.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I love your book recommendation.
Yeah. And then just quickly, you just reminded me when you showed that video of Ragga. I read a Viking book a little while ago, and I'm just gonna say the name because I didn't prep Rob for this at all. My apologies, but I'm just looking up the name of the book because it did really stick with me after I read it. And of course I can't find the note. I'll post it later. Oh, there it is. It's called All the Horses of Iceland.
All right.
And it's a retelling of a Viking myth, and it's another short novella that you should definitely read. I won't give away too much about it. But let's say if, like me and you're a former horse girl, it's a great book.
Amazing. Okay. Someone in chat, please tag Bain and Chiad that we've now stopped talking about that last book so that she can hop back into...
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, she just didn't want spoilers for it.
She didn't want spoilers because she wants to read it.
Yep.
So, spur of the moment decision here, folks. We don't often do giveaways here because I can never get the giveaway bot to actually work and do anything I want it to do. And then I sort of gave up and was just like, do you know what? I won't worry about that anymore. And it just kind of went out the brain. It was kind of like something we just discussed. So let's do a giveaway, folks.
Ooh, I love giveaways.
Not like right now. You're going to have to do something for it, folks. So when the stream is finished, go into the chat, and I will make efforts after the show is finished to go and add them into the description. And please comment below with which of the three books I'm going to say, or so you can write down. I would love to win. What is the Wombat book actually called, Mel?
It's called We Need to Talk About Wombats.
Okay.
And it's actually a webcomic you can find on the Oatmeal's webpage. It exists in other forms than book form.
Okay. Well, we're going to send it out as a book form anyway, because I think that's fun. We love to share reading. So we're going to do that. So comment below with in essence, the book that you would like. So if you would like, we want to talk about Wombats, you'd be like, love the show. I've liked. I've subscribed. Hey, and I would like to the book we need to talk about Wombats. If you want to be hearing be reading instead a psalm for the wild built and a prayer for the crown shy, then comment below with that. I love the show. I've liked. I've subscribed. And I would love to win these books. And if instead you would like a copy of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, then comment below. I love the show. I've liked. I subscribed. He's singing trend here, folks. And I would like that. And then, so this gives you an opportunity if you don't get to watch live, folks, because I understand a lot of you are unable to watch us live. For many of you in Europe and other places, it's either very, very late at night, extremely early in the morning, or just not suitable because of work and things like that. So you're watching back later and live, which is totally fine. And we love you and we appreciate you. So comment below and you get a chance to enter as well. And then on next week's show, we will give away the Wombat book, the 2 novellas, and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue to someone who has commented on the show over the next 7 days.
Mm-hmm. I love giving people books. That makes me so happy.
Yeah, I love it too.
And I think that should be a trend. Just from now on, every time we do a Reading Rainbow, we then give away a copy of the books that we talk about.
Love
I
it.
have so many books lined up that I just don't want to pester you guys. Like every book I read, I'm like, God, I want to talk about this book.
We'll do it like once a month or something. Be like, hey, we haven't done it for 3 weeks. We'll do Reading Rainbow. We've got to give away some
always
books.
have another book.
I'm sure. You know. But yeah. This has been fun, Shelley. It's great to have you back.
We missed you.
You know, I missed you all last week. It was a lot of fun with Jess, Beth, Anis, and Tree. That was so entertaining. I'm so glad I suggested that when we discussed with Matt about you doing the Becoming Avienda show on the Dusty Wheel, because I was conscious of you doing 2 nights of streaming in a row. And it was a lot of fun. I love doing it, but I did miss you all last week as well. So, you know, but obviously it's great to have you back extra as well, Shelley, because last time I saw you was over there on my couch. Well, it was at the train station actually, I think, but you know, same diff. I think that's it. Anything else you want to add? No? Sorry for the late start, folks. I'll restart my computer earlier in the evening, I guess. Weirdly enough, I'd been on it 2 hours earlier and it hadn't decided that it needed the restart, and then I logged on to do my setup and it was like, you should restart now. I'm like, oh, and then it went and I'm like, no, bad timing. So fun.
You can tell it now. You're allowed.
I'm going to. All right, folks. I think that's it. So until next week, may you always find love, water, and shade. Bye.
Bye.